Hi, I'm making a Mizeria, a Polish cucumber salad with a sour cream dressing. I'm using the hothouse style cucumbers, but you can use regular ones, the little Persian ones. These and the Persian ones have a thin skin, so if I'm using those, I usually leave the skin, the peel on, but if you don't like that, cut it off. Or if you're using the regular ones where it's a little thicker, I would peel it. I'm slicing them thin. I would say no more than 1/8 of an inch. You could do this with a mandolin, with the slicing attachment on your grater or food processor. Or you can use a knife and have cucumbers roll off the floor. The dogs enjoy that. So the name Mizeria, I've heard a couple of stories. One is that has to do with the Queen, was it Queen Boza, who was Italian, an Italian princess, who married a Polish king. And she is credited with bringing a lot of vegetables, a lot of Mediterranean vegetables to Poland. Cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, that kind of thing. She was homesick, and I guess eating this salad made that even more pronounced. So hence the name Mizeria or misery for the homesick Italian Polish queen. The other thing that I've heard, and this came from a reader who commented, was not that it was misery, but more that it was like pitiful, as in this was like a dish for poor people, and it was a pitiful, sad little dish. So take your choice, use whichever sounds best to you. Now that I've sliced the cucumbers, I'm going to put them on paper towels and sprinkle them with salt. The idea behind this is that the salt will draw out some extra moisture, and this will keep the dressing from getting watery as the cucumbers weep. I've heard people say that if you're going to use this and eat all of it right away, this step isn't necessary, but you know, it makes a bunch, and if you're not feeding it to a big group, it'll be in the fridge for a few days, maybe you want to do this. So this, lots of cucumber salads in Europe, I've seen them done with just vinegar, maybe vinegar and a little sugar, something sweet and sour. Someone, was it Hungarian, Ukrainian, it had a little mustard in with the sour cream and some honey. Looked good. For the Polish version, one of the key things is dill. Lots of dill. That's not negotiable. So I've spread out my cubes. I'm going to give them a sprinkle of salt. Let them sit for 20 minutes. So for my sour cream dressing, I'm using 1/2 cup of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, you could use lemon juice, some people do, a tablespoon of finely snipped dill, and I usually do this with scissors, rather than a knife. It's going to turn out to be 4 or 5 sprigs. And we want a tablespoon of finely minced chives or green onion. So I'm using 1 green onion, the white and the green part. A teaspoon of sugar. About 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. going to whisk it all up. So I'm just going to dab up the moisture that's on my cucumbers. They're going into my bowl. This side goes with everything. It's delicious with meats, just on, with burgers on the... Now this is going over the cubes. I think this is better if it has time to sit in the fridge for at least an hour before you serve it. Lets the flavors meld and blend. And we're just going to toss until they're all coated. Okay, here we are. Tasty. Into the fridge. Subscribe for more Polish recipes. Smacznego!